Fox News hosts are starting to realize Trump crashed it. On live television over the last few days since this disastrous jobs report, we have seen Fox News host after anchor, after analyst, after host acknowledge things are not going particularly well. Now, some of them are minimizing, some of them are blaming Biden, but they mostly all are recognizing these numbers aren't very good. And you can see the recognition on their faces. We will start with the announcement that the 22,000 jobs that were added in August, a fraction, a pathetic fraction of the expected number, not to mention a downward revision as well. Take a listen.
Go through them,
Yep,
Lauren.
I sure do. 22,000 jobs added in the month of August. That was much less than the expectation of 75,000, guys. The July number was revised. I will get to revisions in a moment. Unemployment rate coming in as expected, 4.3%. So that would be higher than July's 4.2%. Again.
So this is like step one. The numbers aren't good. Jobs numbers down. Unemployment up.
22,000 jobs added in August. Let me get you the revisions because this is what everybody is focused on. For June and July together, combined 21,000 jobs lower than previously reported. I'll categorize that now. So you see for June, it was revised down by 27,000, getting you to negative 13,000, and the change for July up by 6,000, getting you to 79,000.
So they've gone from denial to acceptance. They are now acknowledging the numbers aren't good. Even a British accent couldn't make these jobs numbers sound good. Here is Stuart Varney acknowledging that this is disappointing data.
Disappointing jobs data. Only 54,000 private sector jobs added. And look at this. The yield on the 10-year Treasury below 4.2%. The 2-year down around 3.61%.
All right. So listen, they're accepting it and they are saying this isn't good. This is disappointing. This is a real problem. They then brought on the guy from the Pawn Stars show, who's a big Republican, big supporter of Donald Trump. His name's Rick Harrison. And Bill Hemmer asks him what's going on. And Harrison goes, no, you know what? Tourism is down. A lot of my customers at the pawn shop are tourists. Business is down.
What about inflation? What about the economy? What about terrorists? What about jobs? Do you see any of that playing a factor here?
A little bit. I mean, international tourism is definitely down. Over 50%. Over 50% of the people I get in my store are international people, and I see that as down.
That's not so good. Now, why you would bring on Rick Harrison for a segment about economics, that's a different question altogether, but a question for a different day. Then they go into the equivocations, and this is where it starts to get a little messy and a lot more pathetic. Donald Trump's own former press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, says, part of the reason that the jobs numbers are down is we've deported so many undocumented immigrants. There's a little problem with that, which is that deported people aren't counted as unemployed because they are not filing for unemployment.
I think people stand on that side.
They do. And jobs are down because the illegals are gone.
Sorry, and it's Kayleigh McEnany is throwing it over to Jesse Waters. It's not Kayleigh saying this. It's Jesse Waters who makes this very dumb argument.
They do. And jobs are down because the illegals are gone. When you leave, 2 million illegals leave the country, you're not going to have as many people working. And the people that are working are Americans, Jessica.
And that number will be revised. I wonder if they'll be talking about the revised number in a few months.
When he gets the right person in the job?
Maybe.
Well, last time the numbers were revised down, not up. And of course, this is a farce. So there's two stories similar to this that they are talking about to make these numbers not seem so bad. One is, listen, a lot of the job losses are government jobs, stupid jobs, unnecessary jobs, jobs that Trump promised to get rid of. And so it's DOGE doing its work. But the problem with that is if you look at other sectors like manufacturing, jobs numbers are down. Why would manufacturing jobs be down if it's pointless paper pushing federal government jobs that are being eliminated. And then the other one is, we've deported so many people, that's why the unemployment rate is going up. Well, the deported people aren't filing for unemployment. For years, they told us, oh, unemployment only measures people who have filed for unemployment. That's the U3. You've also got the U6, but these are technical details. They don't care. For years, they said, we can't trust the unemployment rate because only people on unemployment are counted. And now they're going, oh, the deported people are what are bringing up the unemployment rate. No, they're not. Those people haven't filed for unemployment. So it is bad idea after bad idea. And then ultimately we get to questions directly for Kevin Hassett. Why was the jobs report from August no good? Here's what Kevin Hassett had to say.
Go ahead and get your hot take. It's not the number you wanted. It was not the number that was expected. How come?
Right. Well, one of the things we know is that they've been really at BLS struggling with bad response rates. And Goldman Sachs put out a study yesterday that said that they've been messing up the August seasonals so much that over the last 10 to 15 years, they've tended to have to revise up the number by.
Right. The seasonality is confusing to them, and it's all so confusing all of a sudden.
Around almost 70,000 jobs when they get the new final surveys.
So it's their fault?
And so, well, I'm saying that this number, we expect this number will be revised up. That's been the pattern over and over. And if that happens, then it'll be consistent with all the other indicators we're seeing. Industrial production is at an all-time high. Capital spending is up 8% over the first half of the year after it being mostly flat under Joe Biden. And also within the jobs report we got today, there are a lot of really interesting and positive patterns. Thing one is that all the job creation is private sector job creation. Government workers are actually, their employment declined by 100,000.
There it
all
is.
All of the job creation is native-born workers, whereas about half of the job creation under Biden was foreign-born workers. And so there are a lot of real positive things to see. And the final thing is that the wage numbers are fantastic. The wage growth is almost at 4%, which means that the typical wage earner in America right now has gotten a $500 raise already because of Donald Trump's policies.
Okay, so the revisions for June and July collectively were lower.
We're lower.
And you're saying...
Oh, that's genius. He goes, it's all going to be revised and fixed. And Bill Hemmer goes, we just had 2 months in a row revised down.
And the revisions for next month will come back. We'll see whether or not that's the case.
Yeah, and there's another big revision next week. But the point is that these numbers, the reason why they're getting revised so much is that these numbers are based on surveys, and people are kind of not filling out the surveys until the last minute. And so that the share of surveys that have actually been filled out at the beginning of the month is way lower than it used to be.
Think about what Hassett is arguing. He's saying the August jobs report isn't really that bad because it's going to be revised up, meaning you'll be able to trust the upward revision. But at the same time, they're arguing that the June and July downward revisions aren't reliable. But so how is it that the August revision, if favorable to you, will be reliable, but we have to discount the June and July revisions as unreliable, either because the BLS chief that Trump fired was not trustworthy or because people are waiting to fill out their surveys? How can they have it both ways? Because they are no longer held accountable for inconsistency. Fox is realizing we have no damn way to spin it. The numbers are just starting to get bad.